All right, let's do this shit, man.
Okie dokie.
All right. Ready to talk some shit. That's a new one. That's a new one. Yeah, it's in the collection.
Localize it.
We're still waiting for the vocals from Jimbo.
Ready to talk some shiki.
Yeah, that stuff that's in the water in Kablonga and shit, right? Yo, that's gotta be nasty.
Yeah.
Because it's like you hear that a sewer burst.
Yeah.
And then it mixed up with your water and you've been drinking that shit.
Yeah. Not so bougie now, huh?
Hey, you ain't so bougie, nigga.
Ain't so bougie now, huh?
You've been eating each other's shit. That's crazy. That's like some post-apocalyptic shit. It's like, yo, ain't nothing we can do, man. This is what's left. But y'all got a stocked fridge and shit. Y'all good.
Yeah.
But now, this is what I said. It's like y'all now are like forced to go to the hood to get water. Because the water in the hood is cleaner than the shit that you guys have.
But like this is it's like a Blonga people, bro. They're gonna go to Pick and Pay and buy their water.
Oh gosh, that is so
They're gonna go to
bougie.
Manzi Valley.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy. I remember there was this lady who we were neighbors with, like back when I used to stay in that neighborhood back in the day. And what she would do is, when her son went to boarding school, she would give him a term's worth of like mineral water, bro.
Nice.
A shit load of water.
Yeah.
A lot of water, bro.
And I mean, that's Kablonga, right?
Yeah.
And he's going to obviously a good private school.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, obviously you don't have to worry about the water being rubbish.
Yeah.
But like she still
did that. That was like a flex, man. I'm like, really?
Term's worth.
I don't know if that's like the right thing to do. Like you're not preparing your son for the real world. Because in the real world, that's bullshit. Nobody does that. You know what I mean?
But like, whose real world?
The real world out here in the streets. The streets, bro. The streets.
For some people, that is the reality.
I get that, right?
Yeah.
But there will be a point where you have to relate to people who are probably not even in your kind of like your caliber or some shit, like what your social stature or some shit like that. You know what I mean? So if you're going to private school and all you drink is mineral water, like fucking all term, like the fuck, man. You can't boil your water. You can't teach your son some survival skills. So when the water runs out, they would have to go there and give him some more. Like,
those are survival skills in their books.
That is crazy.
Those are survival. It's like work so hard that you're able to afford your own mineral water at all freaking times.
Is that what they're trying to impart in the kid?
That's what they're trying to do. Work so hard that you afford, bruh.
Oh, I dare you to go to a public school.
This Kablonga there's certain people, and sometimes we always come back to that. Sometimes I say, I don't know, sometimes maybe we say that to make ourselves feel better about our situations and our struggles. You know, it's like, oh, no, one day he's going to learn. It's like, some people don't. He goes from private school, all right, to some fancy college, or probably out of the country, comes back and he says, go see your uncle and Standard Chartered, and they give him a proper job at Standard Chartered and his manager, and then he climbs up, and then before you know it, in the next 20, 25 years, he's CEO and he's running that shit. He's never...
Yeah, and he's buying his own mineral water.
He's buying his own mineral water. That's what I'm saying. It's like, to him, that could be his reality, his whole freaking life.
That's crazy, bro.
That's crazy, but
all
it
you've
is
ever
what
drank
it
is mineral water.
Yeah.
And you never had like the cloth nappies. It was just fucking paper shit, disposable shit.
It's wild, bro.
Fuck.
Yeah. I mean, some people are like that, and so you don't believe it sometimes, but like there are people who just.
But you see, like, what if you can't afford that shit? What fucking happens then? You know, you get confused. Like, you're used to a certain type of life.
Yeah.
And then when tragedy hits, that will be tragic for you. Like, that's not even tragic for anybody else. It's like, oh, I can't have no mineral water.
Yeah.
It's like, the fuck out of here, nigga. There's more serious issues out here.
Yeah, well, not if your water has got sewage in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, that's some nasty shit, bro. That's nasty.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
God is trying to say something.
Whoa.
You Kablonga diggers need to listen.
What is God trying to tell them?
I don't know. It's just something.
And he chooses sword to do that?
Yes.
Like, what is he?
God works in mysterious ways.
And he's using sword to... What could possibly be the thing that he's trying to teach Kablonga people through sewage?
I don't know. It could just be some lesson. Maybe the guys over there are just being too nasty.
You know what I think the lesson is?
What?
It's just like, yo, stop playing and start buying mineral water. That's the lesson.
Oh, so you're saying God is bougie too?
I'm just saying.
Did he use mineral water to wipe out the planet back in Noah's day?
I'm just saying.
Is that what he did?
He has streets of gold. He has streets of gold. What's more bougie than that? What's more bougie than that? It's like, yo.
Oh, gosh.
It's like you could have just regular tarmac. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Green and whatever. It's like, nah. We're going to put that gold. You know what I mean?
But who are these people that said that? Because I think that was just, it sounds like something that just struck somebody's imagination. I don't think, not everything in the Bible is literal. Like, it's metaphoric in some ways.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, so you have to be able to strike the balance.
So who are these people that went to heaven and were like, oh, there's all these different minerals, and yeah, there's gold, it's mixed with emeralds and all these rare metals and stuff like that.
I don't know. We should have a pastor up in here.
Would he be able to sit with us for 2 hours?
Yeah.
And talk shit? Because you know I'm going to do the intro. I don't care if you're a pastor. This is how we start the podcast.
It's one of those things where, you know, it's like he would be able to tell us, it's like, is God really trying to teach niggas in Kablonga a lesson through sewage? You know? I don't, personally, right now, I would totally dismiss that. I would dismiss that shit. Pun intended.
Wow. You can't dismiss the shit when it's in your water.
Kablonga niggas will tell you that.
Oh gosh. It's funny because, you know, people who like some of the friends that we have in Kablonga, like they're like, I don't even drink tap water.
Yeah.
I remember you did something very bougie and I'll never forgive you for it.
What did I do?
You did some shit that no nigga in the history of niggerdom has ever done.
Okay.
You brushed your teeth with tap water.
Yeah.
And then you realized, and then you were like, washed out your mouth.
I didn't wash out my mouth.
You didn't swallow your saliva.
I didn't swallow my saliva for about 30 to 45 minutes.
It's fucking bullshit.
I mean, like, bro.
What was the situation for you to do that shit first of all?
No, the thing is, it's like, I remembered that they said that the water is contaminated. And then I used tap water. You know, so it's like, the thing is, it's like, I don't want to be walking around here, be like, oh no, we couldn't do the podcast because Fanatik has got typhoid.
That would be like, perfect.
It's bad form right there, man. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit.
Pun intended.
I'm like, yo, no, I'm not going to go out like that.
Oh, so you did it for the podcast?
Yeah, I was just like, I just didn't want to miss work or anything on the podcast because it's like, yo, I got typhoid or some shit. You know?
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Didn't want that.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's nuts. But yeah, you know, y'all people in Kablonga, very, you know, posh area.
Kablonga Ibex.
Yeah. Y'all get to, you know, experience what everybody else experiences. It's fine. You know what I mean? The last shall be first. That's what's happening right now,
shall
baby.
Be last.
Yes. Yes, what's going on right now. All right, so let's start off by addressing this situation that went down in SA, where media personality, NoMoozile, is that how they say it? NoMoozile.
Yeah, NoMoozile.
She was in a car crash on her Instagram live. Supposedly she was in a crash. Yeah. And you hit me up with that. You sent me the link to try and see it. I couldn't see it, so I just went to YouTube and checked it out. Yeah. And that was some freaky shit.
Yeah,
I was like, yo, the fuck?
It was.
She's just like getting a crash.
Yeah.
And then next thing, you know, I went to Twitter to see how people were reacting.
Yeah.
And some people were saying this is fake. It's for some commercial that she's doing. That's supposed to combat, I don't know, using your phone while you're driving or whatever. And I thought that was a wild theory. I was like, whoa, I hope that's not the case.
I know, right?
Because you can't play with people like that.
No.
And then it just so happens that it's true. You were watching the commercial.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I was upset. Because it's like I genuinely like this person.
Yeah.
All right. Keep in mind I'm a hip hop head, so I started first seeing her on Vuzu as a presenter, right? And then she was like, "Oh no, I'm rapping too." And you know how it is. Sometimes you hear it's like, yeah, right,
like,
whatever.
Fuck out of here.
Outta here. So that happened, and then I heard that she got signed to Tear Gas dude.
Cash Time Fam?
KO's label.
Okay.
You know, and she was the Skanda Queen, and all of that. And then I saw the first song that she put out was I believe Don't Panic. Used to play it a lot back at Power, and I loved it. You know what I mean? Her energy was on point. You could tell, like, yo, there's actually bars here, and she's going in. You know, it's not some pretty
and she can
whatever,
get it.
whatever. Yeah.
On top of that,
there you go.
Just saying.
All right. So I genuinely liked her. You know, she left Skanda. You know, left Tear Gas and them, left KO and them, left the label, went independent. You know, and she was like, "Oh, I'm starting my own label." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then for the longest time, she was like, "Oh, we're not signing anybody. I'm not gonna be out here trying to sign people and whatever. I just want to work and do my own thing." And then the video that...
Oh, so that's what she was promoting in the video.
That's what she was promoting on the
signing
video. Yeah, on the video. Now
DJs,
she's saying, it's like,
shit.
yo, now we're ready to start signing people. This is like 2 years or 3 years in, I believe.
Yeah.
2 years of having the label and whatever, trying to push herself. It's like, oh, now we're signing people. If you're a DJ, whatever. And then she's just getting into that, and then quick, tire screeches, bang, screen cracked. And you could tell, like, people on her live feed are
like,
going
what
like,
the fuck
yo,
just happened?
what's going on? What's happening? What? Are you okay? Drr.
Yeah.
And then the crazy thing is, she went quiet deliberately. So nobody could reach her.
Yeah.
You know? There was a video of somebody else, a close friend, who was like, yo, we're trying to look for NoMoozile, we can't find her.
Yeah.
So if anybody has got any information and this person is crying and all of that. So I obviously didn't think this was just one of those campaigns or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it was an extreme, you know.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I've been in a car crash before, so I can recognize like
yeah.
that kind of moment. It's crazy.
So the person I actually saw it off was Rouge. You know, another female rapper from SA.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, has anybody heard what's happening with NoMoozile? You know, and then she put up that little video. You know?
She didn't have to put up that video.
Yeah, but she did.
I'm just saying.
Has anybody seen her or heard her?
If I was in a crash, would you do that?
No, why?
It's just that,
Like-
for me, that just looked like, oh, she probably knew. She was in on the shit.
Yeah.
Because if she wasn't, if it was serious, the last thing you want to do is put up fucking video of her being in a car crash.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
But like, it's a celebrity, man. It's Twitter.
Bullshit. Don't matter. Don't matter. Did you put up pictures of dude that passed away last year? Caristo? You didn't put up pictures? No, I didn't,
but people put that
but
shit
those
up.
are random people. They don't know. They didn't know him. They didn't know him personally. That's what I'm saying. If like you knew somebody personally, the last thing you're gonna do is put up a video.
I know they know each other. I don't know how close they are. You know what I mean?
For me, that just looks like a red flag. Like she knew, oh, damn, I'm doing this shit, whatever.
Yeah, well, for me, I think it was just one of those things where I'm like, damn. And I genuinely like her.
Yeah.
I think a week ago I had her on my status. Like, yo, WCW, whatever, you know, because I like her.
Yeah.
You know? So it was scary for me because I'm like, yo, she's young. She's just getting out there. She's doing her thing.
Yeah.
And something like this happens. So it was a bit weird for me to find out that it was actually a campaign to, you know, stop drinking and driving, you know, this whole festive period that we were in and all of that, you know. So I guess.
Do you have the video? Are you able to play like a little bit of it?
I don't know if I still have the video. I don't think so.
Are you able to find it?
Let me look for it. I found it on Twitter. Somebody actually had the actual shorter version of it. You know, the other one I found was just a little bit long.
Gotta close long. Who the hell is screeching their fucking tires? So it's on Twitter.
Yeah, it's on Twitter. I mean, you can find it. It's on Twitter. It's on Instagram. Yeah, I'm sure you can find it on YouTube too. You know, but like the ones I found on YouTube had, you know, commentary from some of these South African guys, and it was just sounded lame as hell. Sounded lame as hell. I'm like, yo, isn't there any other reputable source for it? You know? It's like, yo, this is giving you the news as it happens, and we just found out that, and I'm like, yo, bruh,
like, shut the fuck up.
I know. Let's get to the shits, bro.
Okay, so she basically wasn't involved in a crash. This was just a campaign.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't know. I'm just the flirting with shit like that is very dangerous. Like,
yeah,
you know how I feel about the universe and the energy that you put out there. You know, because you literally have fucked with a lot of people's emotions.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm actually kind of taken aback by that. It's like, there's other ways in which you can do something. I know you want it to be extreme to tag on people's emotions so they can, you know, fall in line. It's like, oh, this shit can actually happen when you do this, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if you want to take it that far. You want people, she obviously wanted people to think she was dead.
Yeah.
You know, that's why she went quiet.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
And man, I don't support anything like that, man, because it's like, I get the message,
because
but
the bottom line is, number one is, okay, impact, right?
Yeah.
And the impact was definitely there, because it's like the video that she posted up just now is like, you know, they're kind of showing the number of tweets and retweets about it. It's like a whole bunch of people.
Wow, they're showing the numbers.
Yeah, they're showing the numbers. But the thing
That's
is,
corny.
It's like, yes, it was impactful. Like, there was a lot of noise about it. But is it the right type of impact? Did somebody watch that video and be like, oh shit, I'm not doing this anymore?
No.
You know what I mean?
It's
just like, if you like her that much, or if you're a fan of her, you were probably more upset than anything. You know, you're not thinking about, it's like, oh, I shouldn't be drinking and driving or whatever. It's like, yeah, that's the campaign you're trying to drive across, but like the means you did it are just so messed up. Yeah. I don't want to hear your shit anymore. Yeah. You know, it's upsetting because you put me in this position where I thought you were dead.
Yeah. And look, it's just the point I am trying to drive to. Everything you say is like, it makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah. Like, I'm trying to say is like, you don't want to put that kind of energy out there.
Yeah, man.
You know.
Yeah.
Because like, how many examples do we have of people that were doing something that were flirting with the idea of death, and then that shit just like happened after that?
Yeah. So it's a whole bunch of
B.I.G.
Tupac especially.
Mac Miller, like one of his videos before he died, he's rapping and he's like in a coffin and shit. Yeah. You know.
Eminem and Proof.
There you go.
You know,
they had that soldiers, shit. Yeah. That's exactly how it happened. Exactly that's crazy. Happened. That's some crazy shit. Like, you don't want to put that energy out there. Like, man. I get it. You're trying to do something to, you know, but get people aware of
the means in which you're trying to get to your messages. It's crazy because it's like the message then gets diluted in, you know.
Yeah, and this is what this was my point. Like, with I like that you say the means, right? This is the same conversation that we were having with Simon Mwewa when he did whatever he did with the woman in the street.
Yeah,
it's like, we get it. You're trying to put a point across to get people aware of this shit.
Yeah,
but your message gets lost in translation because of your execution. So people are like, they'll nitpick and say, oh, but you shouldn't have done that to that woman. Mm-hmm. So now you're trying to put a point across, but if people are resistant to it because of how you did it, it just defeats the purpose. You know what I mean? And that's what's happening with this shit right here. I'd like to. I haven't gone through the tweets, but you're somebody that's really familiar with her work.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's tons of people who feel the way you feel too. Like, she didn't have to go that far just to,
no, not at all.
You know, put a point across.
Not at all. You know what I mean?
Gosh. And let me just say the execution was, gosh. Like,
it was perfect.
Like, was that car moving?
No, it wasn't moving.
It wasn't moving, right? Just pretending like she was.
Yeah.
So where did the screeching sounds come from?
I don't know, bro.
So somebody smashed the screen and then she
smashed
threw
the screen and whatever, and then she threw the phone and whatever, and you know what I mean? Like it's crazy. You need to just watch the whole video, you know. But it was, you know, it was staged basically. I was mad because, you know, like I think they have like a VW Golf 6 or something that they trashed.
You're mad about the car.
I was mad. Like, yo, that was like a Golf 6 or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was mad. It's like, yo.
So it's weird now because it's like, oh, we're happy that she's alive, but then we're mad because she didn't.
Yeah. I mean, then again, maybe this will lead to other conversations. Maybe when people calm down a little bit, maybe she'll be invited to more radio stations, more TV stations, and she'll actually highlight what the message is. It's like, oh no, actually what we were trying to do was this and this and this and this. You know what I mean?
So fake your own death to save others.
Yeah, I guess.
Is that what Jesus did?
How did Jesus fake his own death? How did Jesus do that?
I'm going to hell, man.
How did Jesus fake his own death?
That's Jesus, bro.
Yeah.
Jesus don't die.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did he fake his own death? To save the world, to save other people.
He actually died, though. He actually died.
No, but he came back to life.
He came back to life. But he died, and then he came back to life.
Can't kill Jesus, bro.
In essence, then we're gonna say you can't kill a person because because you're mind, body, and soul, you can't kill your spirit. Your spirit will never die. Your spirit is eternal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my thinking. Other people have got different forms of thinking. I think your spirit is eternal and your spirit doesn't die.
Look, I'm just talking shit.
Yeah.
Yo, Christians, don't come after me, man. It's just irony. Just irony.
Yeah.
You know, because it's Jesus, you know, son of God.
Yeah.
And then, you know.
Yeah.
Because
he died in terms of, you know, what we define as death as humans. Normal humans.
I don't even know where that thought came from.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives you an insight into the type of trash that's in your head.
You know, be at the pearly gates and be like, oh, remember that shit you said on the podcast? Yeah. Go to the other side. So speaking of, you know, spirits and stuff, we know what happened in Gwembe.
Yeah.
So basically, there was a ghost that was haunting a hospital.
Still there.
It's still there.
Yeah.
So workers are not going to work because this ghost is terrorizing them.
Yeah.
So the Ministry of Religious Affairs, they are sending people for an exorcism?
I really don't know how true that story is.
Let's just say allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Let's have this conversation on an alleged, you know, premise.
Allegedly, they are sending, is it 21 pastors?
Something like that.
21
like savages.
Yeah, 21 pastors to the Gwembe Valley. And basically it's like, you know, find the ghost, neutralize the ghost, and then come back and give a report.
Neutralize the ghost.
That's what Americans use. That's what Americans use when they're trying to go and kill a Gaddafi or something. You know what I mean? They're not like, oh no, we're gonna go and kill him. It's like, yo, we're going to neutralize a threat.
Neutralize the target.
Yeah, neutralize the threat, neutralize the target. You know,
so like, trash.
Yeah, it's crazy, but that's what we've heard allegedly.
Allegedly, that's what's going on, right?
Pastors are gonna go that side, but
you see, they say they're gonna spend what
200,000 kwacha. 200,000 kwacha.
This government has done so many dumb things that you can't put shit like this past them.
No, not at all.
How much did they spend on the tree?
350,000.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's like when you hear such stories, it's like,
Yeah.
we've gotten to a point where we're just like, wow, really?
Yeah.
You don't even when you hear shit happen, first thing you think of is like, oh, it's probably true.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you don't like cancel it out completely because there's so many ridiculous things that have gone down, especially in the recent past. Like the second half of 2018 was just ridiculous.
I mean, let's just. I mean, we're gonna start. We can even start from the point of the fire trucks, because it's like, look,
that's where it started.
when you tell me, look, this is a $1 million car, and then you bring me a Bugatti, I'll be like, oh hell yes.
Yeah.
This is a $1 million car. Why? Because it's like, it's got like, I don't know how many cylinders and blah, 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 blah. You can break it down to a freaking science and account for each and every dollar that is spent on that car. Obviously, there's a profit that goes into it, but like, you can basically break it down. With that 1 million fire truck, 3 of which have already broken down, have been in accidents or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't tell me this is worth $1 million United States dollars.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
The Air Force have better looking fire trucks, and they're less than $1 million for each of them. It's crazy.
So it's like, look, Zambians are not dumb.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we let a whole bunch of shit slide, but like, we're not dumb.
True.
We can see, we think, we analyze, and we come up to conclusions.
True.
You know, so with this whole thing, I mean, like, we did not put it past this government
at all.
I thought that's the reason, because it's like, what are you going to do? You're not going to send soldiers over there.
What are they going to do? This
is
the spirit.
Yeah. You're not going to send soldiers over there.
You need prayer warriors.
Yeah. So you're going to send pastors over there. And the thing is, we were having these conversations with the guys, and we're saying, it's like, why 21 pastors? Why do you need 21? Why not 5? Why not 3? You know what I mean? Like, why 21?
Yeah.
Because if you are talking about 21 pastors, then you're thinking about just like, oh, accommodation for 21 people, food for 21 people.
And they don't know how long it's going to take.
They don't know how long it's going to take. And we're saying, it's like, yo, if this is what it's going to be, somebody was saying, it's like, yo, then we need to see them catch the ghost. They need, because you're not just gonna come back and say, it's like, oh no, the ghost is not there anymore. You need to show evidence. It's like, yo, we captured this little thing.
It's actually 22 pastors.
22. There you go. You know, they couldn't even have been smart about it and said 21, because 21 for me, it's like 7 is the number of perfection. 7, 7, 7, 7. You know what I mean? You could have been spiritual about it. Like 21 pastors and account for it and say, it's like, no, because 7 is the number of completion. Even in the Bible, you can break it down. But like, they picked 22.
22.
Nobody was even thinking about that.
Nah, they don't even know how to execute this shit.
Yeah.
So, Astoria News Digger says that the Minister of Religious Affairs is refuting this shit. Like, this is not true.
Yeah.
This is fuck it, we didn't say anything like that. So, yeah, everything is not true, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just like it's not true that, you know. Anyway.
Hey, speak your mind, brother.
No, it's just Zed is in a place. I wanted to say something, but like, I don't want to run around here quoting Donald Trump.
Yeah. Oh, no, don't do that.
I mean, I'm just
no, because the context that he used was not.
Yeah. But like right now, when you
look about the shit,
when you look at our country, right? I was saying, it's like, look,
that was like him calling African countries. It was just like niggers.
Yeah,
basically that was the context. So that's why I don't accept that shit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
but I've still
racist as shit.
I've planted the thought in your mind, and I can't be racist. I'm black. Black is
wow. Y'all need to stop that.
So, what was I saying? Well, we're having a conversation with the guys, right? And we're talking about, you know, Zambia the beautiful, and we're saying, it's like, look, the United States right now has got a problem. The problem is that 800,000 people are not getting paid.
Yeah.
Right? Because of the government shutdown right now. right? Donald Trump says, I want my wall. Democrats and Congress say, you're not going to have it.
Yeah.
And he says, then we don't have any deal. He's threatening to declare state of emergency to get the money that he needs to build his wall. He's looking for about $5 billion or something like that, US. And the thing is, it's like, those are the problems happening that side. In the first 12 days of January, what do we have? We have a ghost in Gwembe.
No, this started last year.
Oh, yeah, but like it's become prominent now.
Yeah.
We have a ghost in Gwembe. We have nudes that leaked like crazy.
Which nudes?
Last week. It's a whole bunch of nudes that came out.
Oh, okay. There was the woman with the leg up in the
The
air.
woman with the leg up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That Abigail woman. There was some woman at Bank of Zambia, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Mrs. Whatever.
Gosh.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. These old women need to know how to take nudes.
Yeah.
You're like, the world has changed. Like, it's not the way it used to be back
just don't,
when there was no Facebook and Instagram.
Stop showing your face in the nudes.
Yeah. Because it's like, no one was sharing nudes back then because you had to, like, you know, do the infrared thing or the Bluetooth thing. It's like nobody had time for that. But now it's just, forward, and then it just goes.
Boom, it's gone.
So stop it.
Stop it.
Just take your face out of that, you know? Yeah.
So
Easy.
for me, I'm just saying it's like compare and contrast the type of things we're hearing in the news right now. It's like these are the things that are on social media and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is rubbish. Total rubbish. Kak.
So nudes wouldn't go viral in the States. Or if a ghost was terrorizing a hospital in the States, this wouldn't be big news. You wouldn't see it on CNN. That's what you're saying. Fuck yeah, bro. It would be a big story. It will be a big story.
It would be a big story, but like also remember in terms of big story in terms of who, because it's like if you say California, it's a big story, and they carry it on the local news stories and whatever, it's a big story. But like, are you really going to see a story about a ghost unless it's super extraordinary about a ghost on CNN terrorizing some small village and whatever?
This story wasn't big until the ministry got involved. When this talk about the ministry releasing, in fact, the report said 558,000 kwacha was supposed to go to this shit.
Yeah.
For the 22 pastors to go there and do their thing.
Yeah.
That's when we had started having this conversation.
Yes.
This story dates back to the 17th of December.
But do you think the United States government is going to do something like that?
Do what?
Release money to go and handle a ghost.
Well, our government is saying they ain't gonna do that. But the minister said, what did she say? I want to quote her here. Let me read what she said. Quote, she's speaking to a journalist here, right?
Yeah.
She said, quote, my daughter, you can even tell yourself that this is not true. This is false. And don't peddle false. Whatever that means. This is totally false. Everything is false. How many times are you going to say false? How can we release 558,000 kwacha on pastors going to pray? Instead, we are putting something in place to go and help the community.
Yeah.
The people are in fear in that area, and there is witchcraft. So we need to go there and see how we can help the people. But then she says, yeah, all of those things are lies, blah, blah, blah. Quote, you know what I mean? So basically, they're putting an arrangement together to send these people to go there. Now, what arrangement would that be?
Bro, look, it's the same
Coming
thing.
from a pastor.
We've said this
She's a
before.
reverend.
Yeah. Look, the thing is, these stories are not just born out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, there are certain amounts that, even when we first heard, it's like, oh no, the water in Lusaka is contaminated.
Yeah.
Where do you think that information came from? From Fanatik?
Oh, hell no.
From, you know, it's like I got the water and I looked at it, it's like, this water looks contaminated. And I went and I tested it in my lab and I put that shit on social media. No. It's somebody at Lusaka Water and Sewage
that leaked that.
They had a meeting and they were like, yo, this is the situation on the ground. What the fuck are we going to do? Yeah. And then somebody sent it to the relative. I highlighted this, I think, in the last podcast. Yeah. Probably somebody sent it. It's like, hey, don't give the children any water from the tap. It's contaminated. Yeah. And then friend to friend to friend to friend. It's as easy as that.
Yeah.
So information like this comes out because somebody in the government that has seen numbers and has seen all of this shit going on. And then they tell someone, and then that someone tells someone, and then boom, we have this shit leaked out.
You know, the thing is, like, they've obviously been called out. This is, I would say, it sounds true. Like knowing her track record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The type of things that she says. This sounds like an idea she would have probably come up with.
Yeah.
So when they say an arrangement, we're about to make an arrangement to do this.
Yeah.
Like, what arrangement are you making? Like, are you going to go there and what?
There's nothing else you can do.
What are you going to do? It's a spiritual situation.
Yeah. And then your ministry is obviously the one tasked to deal with shit like that. It's like the Ministry of Home Affairs is not going to do that. It's like take more police officers. They'll just get more haunted.
Exactly.
You know? We don't have Ghostbusters here in Zambia. You know?
Yeah, somebody said that. Was it you that said that in the group?
I don't
Ghostbusters.
know. I don't remember.
Like, yo, need to stop.
You know? So this is, for me, I feel like this is a case of witchcraft. You know? Because that's more believable in our African setting.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it's a case of witchcraft. Somebody is probably mad. Somebody's relative died at that hospital, and they are upset.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, since my niece, my child, my whatever died here, you will not see peace.
That sounds like something you would do. I feel like if you were a villager, you'd probably do that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
The way, you fucking hate UTH.
Trust me. Look.
The ghost of Fanatic with his big toe.
With the people who get, there are people who get mad. I had an uncle of mine who got so upset.
Yeah.
All right. Now he's from. How can I say it without implicating him? He's from a certain area, all right. My cousin might get upset, but like he's from a certain area.
That's super big. Yeah,
yeah. So he's not too far from Lusaka, Chonga area. So what happened is
still describing the area, like giving us more info.
What happened is that they're connected to the chieftainess.
Yeah.
All right, somehow. And the grandmother had cattle that was stolen from her. I think about 5 or something like that. And then the son got so upset, and then he went there, and they were like, "No, we need to find the person who did this." And then they went to see the local, Ngangao, Sangoma, whatever. Yeah. And then the dude asked them, "It's like, okay, so this is what has happened. So what do you want us to do?
Yeah.
Should we pump at this person's stomach so that it gets full of whatever, and then you'll be able to identify him, or do you want him cleared?"
God damn.
And then the Bali was so upset, he was like, "Clear, bro."
They cleared him?
They cleared him.
Okay. You got some gangsters in your family. That's some like Italian mob shit.
Yeah, they cleared him.
Gosh.
But like through...
How did he die?
I don't know. I don't know how he died, but like...
Come on, give us the info. You took us this far already, man. Shit.
I don't want to say too much because I might implicate my family. My family! But things like this happen and they're true.
That was some dark shit right there, man.
Yeah, so you need... This situation obviously needs to find a resolution, some way, somehow. But like sending 22 pastors there, for me, is not the answer.
I don't know. Why don't they just go with Anyway, the ministry will obviously not look into that. But like, if this is witchcraft, don't you counter it with more powerful witchcraft? I don't know.
I mean, that's how it works, bro.
So it's supposed to be, right?
That's the way it works.
But isn't witchcraft is it not recognized in our as a practice?
A practice and whatever. I don't know. Is the course still going on at Unza?
I think it is. Yeah.
Still going on?
Yeah. It's supposed to.
I didn't even get details on that. Is it a study of witchcraft?
It's pretty much. It's like tradition, like customs and shit like that. Like basically if you want to get deep-rooted information on traditional practices. Not on witchcraft is part of it. It's like there's other shits that go down. So they'll give you like that information.
I mean, because some of those things are the things that, you know, in other countries I think probably would have been, you know, people would have tried to decipher and, you know, find the technology behind them.
The technology,
if any. I'm just saying. It's like, how did you move from point A to point B?
Yeah. Maybe we can use this to innovate how we travel. Maybe we can use this to innovate how we travel, you know? Because it's like, yo. You won't be late for work ever again.
Yeah, ever. You know? You can be like, it's like, yo, Chromez, where you at? It's like, oh, you're supposed to be here. It's like, oh, damn, snap. Boom. Dude is right here. You know? It's like, oh, just put that to my red beads down.
I'll be there just now.
You know what I mean? We could study this shit properly.
Yeah, for real.
You know?
I like, this is something we were talking about, like, on our way here.
Yeah.
I was saying, it's like, witchcraft only became equated to, like, Satanism after Christianity was introduced to Africans. Because that's all we knew. We prayed to the gods and shit. They did shit, you know what I mean? We prayed for rain, it came.
Yeah. But like, also,
like
let's be clear. There's witchcraft, you know what I mean? And not everything is witchcraft. Because even, you know, kulinganga, kulina mfwiti. The ngangas are the good ones.
Yeah.
Or perceived good ones. You know, the mfwiti are the bad ones.
Yeah. I mean, those
are what you call witches. Even in the Bible, it says, you know, suffer not a witch to live.
So kill him.
Kill him. Because a witch will be like, no puso, and I kill him. And you're like,
Yeah.
It's like they're petty like that. They would kill
True. I guess,
for no apparent reason.
I guess it's like there's always going to be a balance of energy. You just can't have good. There's always going to be bad.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Ngangas too have the ability to do the evil shit.
Yeah,
but they choose not to do it.
They choose not to.
Yeah,
they choose not to.
So I just feel like why do we frown upon that? You know, like it's like it's looked at like such a bad thing. But that's our tradition. That's who we are as Africans. Like those were the doctors in our communities back in the day.
Yeah.
But now it's like you don't want to get into that little tent. Yeah. You know, to get some help.
Yeah. Because I think it's one of those things where, especially where Christianity was brought in, it's sort of like when it comes to spirituality, it's you don't know what you're getting yourself into. You don't know the type of spirits that are, you know, it's like opening a Pandora's box. And you're depending on somebody else to open Pandora's box and to nitpick and say, it's like, oh, this is the good stuff. Use that. But don't use the evil stuff. You know? Because even if you go and get charms from Manganga, he'll tell you, it's like, oh, do this. Yeah. Right? Yeah. If you don't follow the order, bad shit happens to you. You know what I mean?
It's the same thing with everything else. Like
I'm just go
to a doctor.
Yeah.
And if you don't follow the instructions, you won't get cured.
Yeah.
Take meds at this time. If you miss one day, the meds might not even work. You have to go back and get like a higher dose.
I mean, it's for me, it's there's a traditional aspect that I embrace, you know, and I'm 120% for. Yeah. You know, and then there's when it starts getting too deep, it's kind of like even the people who practice Kung Fu. You know, it's like anybody would tell you, it's like, yo, I started practicing Kung Fu, and then it gets to a certain point where it's like,
some weird shit.
This is some weird shit. I'm not very comfortable going into those realms, you know, where like it's like, oh, you can sleep on a sharp spike and nothing happens, and this is like needle sharp and nothing is happening. So you start wondering. Some of the magicians now you see on TV, name drop Dynamo. To me, that's just some weird shit. It's not even magic.
I don't think. What does he typically do? I don't know if I've watched any of his clips.
He was on top of a building, right? And then he's standing on the edge of the building, and then everybody goes like, "Oh, look, he's gonna jump! He's gonna jump! He's gonna jump! He's gonna jump!" And they're thinking he's gonna jump, and then he goes over the building, and then he walks down the building.
Okay.
He walks down the building.
Like Spider-Man, on some Spider-Man shit.
Yeah, on some Spider-Man shit. He's walking on the ground, and it's on the side of a building. He gets on the ground, continues walking, and he walks off, doesn't acknowledge anybody. And the thing is, it's like when he does that, he's a skinny, stick, thin guy. He's like Jedi. Right? He's like Jedi. He goes into a gym.
Yeah.
Goes into a gym, points out the biggest weight.
Yeah.
And then he asks one of the biggest guys in the gym, like, yo, can you lift this? And then he says, nah, man, I wouldn't even try.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even try. He tries and he couldn't even do one. He was like, nah, I'm going to hurt myself.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, Jedi. Or if Jedi is not that famous, J-Rocks.
J-Rocks.
Without a shirt on.
Or Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg. All right? He
Yeah.
goes underneath there. And it's like you can tell when somebody is normal, and then you can tell sort of like he's in a trance.
Yeah.
You know, and then boom, he bench presses that easily.
How many?
Easily.
How many did
I think
he
he
do?
did like 2 or 3 reps.
That's how much the spirits could give him. It's like, oh my G, we can't do more than 3, my G. That's it.
It was. This is on camera stuff where it's like he disappears from here and he appears from the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just like, and you can tell it's like he's not himself at that particular point.
So, to you, what is that?
Some form of Satanism, bruv.
But why? What if that's just him discovering his spirituality? Like he's in touch with the universe. And he's able to communicate with the spirits and shit. Because, like...
Which spirits?
I don't know.
I don't doubt that he's communicating with spirits. I'm just saying, which spirits?
Angels can't make you do that?
For what reason? For your glory?
I don't know. I don't know what angels do. So you're saying those are demons?
Those are demons.
So what's the purpose? What does that serve for the demons? What does that do for a demon? It's like, I'm going to make you walk on water, and then what?
Oh, yeah, he's done that before, too.
Yeah, I know Chris Angel did that, too, as well.
Yeah, Chris Angel, you know, the whole levitating, whatever shit. Yeah. For me, it's one of those things where it's kind of like, oh, look what I can do. Mm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not like I'm using this power for good or for other people, for the benefit of other people, which Christianity encourages to do. Because it's like, look, it's no good you having this power, you know, and then not just doing stuff to glorify yourself. You know
what a lot of these pastors do, though.
That's what a lot of these pastors do, and that's where you tell the real from the fake.
So those people get their whatever power from demons, then.
A lot of people, yeah.
The pastors who
the
clearly
fake ones
are for their own.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I believe that. We can argue about that on another day, but yes, I said it. You know what I mean? It's like I totally 120% believe that. There was a dude who was on TV. Yeah. You know, we used to work together at Joy. And then he started praying for people on radio. And then all of a sudden some people would be like, oh, I got healed. Or I started seeing, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe he's legit. And then this is a dude who never used to go to Malawi.
Okay.
But all the time, you'd hear of stories where it's like, oh, I'm going to Malawi. And then before that, he was Brother Emmanuel. He became Pastor Emmanuel.
Okay. So.
And then, because this is where you see, it's like, I knew him. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? I knew dude. I saw the stuff that he did on the side. And I'm like, yo, you're
he's
not.
Fucking bitches?
Yeah.
But everybody fucks bitches better this fucking.
No, but like, look, there's that. Look, nobody's perfect and whatever. You can get caught slipping here and there. Yeah. You know, the Bible is full of people who got caught slipping. But like, this is indiscriminate.
Okay.
He was on TV, bruh.
What was his name?
I just said his name, Emmanuel.
Oh, so you're just comfortable to call him out like that?
You asked me what his name is. Wow. And this has been on record. He was on movie TV where people started going to his church. People were trying to fight him and stone him because he got like some of his, you know, congregants pregnant or whatever.
Oh, so this is shit that's out there.
It's
like
out there.
Public domain.
It's like, yeah, it's in the public domain. It was all over TV.
So you're So you're convinced that he was not
absolutely.
real because of the shit he was doing on the side, like fucking bitches and whatever.
And going to Malawi, what are you going to do in Malawi?
What's wrong? What you got against Malawi, bro?
No, but like
That's where the source of the power is.
Yeah, that's what the source of the power is in terms of like some of the greatest witches
are from Malawi. Is that for real?
That's for real.
Is that the only thing that Malawi has over us here in Zambia?
Probably. Probably.
We were talking about how like Malawi, like Malawi looks at us like, you know, we're like way better.
We're the shit in Malawi, bro.
We ain't shit, Malawi. we ain't shit.
We're the shit.
No, I'm saying we ain't shit over here. All right, but I need to go to Malawi though. Not for those reasons. That the other dude
come back as Pastor Chromez.
Hey. But what is it? Because you know, like I've heard so many stories of pastors doing
negative shit.
Yeah, like fucking
or whatever. Yeah.
There was one girl who I knew. We actually kind of dated a little bit.
Oh, there you go.
Know what I mean?
Hey, girl.
And she
dated Chromez once.
she opened up to me at some point about how she was dating this pastor dude, and he basically was fucking a bunch of chicks in the church. In fact, there's two girls who told me stories like that. Like he's just like a dude who's like, yeah, it's just what he does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she said that the women mostly would throw themselves at him.
Yeah.
So in that moment, I'm like, that's kind of crazy to me. It's like you're going to church because you want spiritual healing or something, or you're looking for higher power.
Guidance.
Yeah.
And
then how do you end up in a situation like that?
Thirsting after the pastor.
Yeah, because clearly the guy is going to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
You know, he's probably like, he's a piece of shit. He probably coerced some of those women to do what they did and whatever. But some of the women would throw themselves at him.
Yeah.
So I don't get that. I've been in church many times, and I've never looked at the pastor, the woman pastor in there or whatever, and go, fuck her. Like those kind of thoughts would never cross my mind. Like in there, I mean, I would think about the other congregants. I'd be like, oh, sister, whatever. Yeah, she got a fat ass.
Yeah,
but like not like the spiritual leader. So that's kind of confusing to me. I don't get that. Is it because some women are just attracted to men who are like at a certain position in society, and they will do whatever they can to get with the person, or like I don't know what it is. I've been trying to think of it, and I've asked some women, and they also don't seem to understand it.
Nah, they do. They just don't want to tell you. They just don't want to.
So what is it that they ain't? What is it that they ain't telling me?
Look, for me, what I've seen is like one of the things you highlighted is a position of power. You know, obviously people want to be close to that.
Yeah,
right?
That's looking at somebody who is everyone admires in the church
and whatever. You know. So the other thing is for me, society, man, and the pressure that is on society to just, you are female, and you are 25, you're 26. You need to have a serious relationship, or you need to have a kid, or you need to be married.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that pressure. Yeah. So with that in mind, also keep in mind that this person is also powerful and he's in a position of leadership. Yeah. So it's like two things that you're ticking. Number one, you can give me kids, you can give me marriage, you know, you can give me kids, you can give me marriage, and then aside from that, you're also in a position of power, in a position of leadership. Why wouldn't I want that? Yeah. You know? Yeah. So what if I gotta elbow my way in and fight a couple of bitches to get you? I'ma do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So at that particular point, they're not looking at you like, oh no, you're a spiritual leader. They're looking at you just like, yo, this nigga is gonna be my man. Yeah. And I'm gonna be ruler over all of these other bitches.
Gonna give me that Holy Ghost fire dick.
You know what I mean? Because like you said, my mind state when I go to church is I'm looking at my leaders in a certain type of way.
Yeah, you're there for something.
Even when I meet them in a different setting, my vibe and my connection with them is different to when we're in church.
Yeah,
because in church it's kind of like you're in somebody's office.
That's true.
And the place where they have power and function. Okay, it's different. If you meet Edgar Lungu at State House in a formal meeting and you meet him playing golf, I think
or other places,
or other places drinking a Jameson.
Hey.
It's a totally different environment. It's a totally different vibe. You know, like
true.
bakateka, what if you know? It's
straight.
a different vibe. In there, it's Mr. President.
True.
You know, so for me, those are some of the things I believe that these women would throw themselves at somebody like that. Now, it's not all women, obviously.
Obviously not.
But there's just a certain type who's like, look, I need to get married. I need to have a man like this. He's like, oh, this guy is already got it made. You know, that's why sometimes some people would be like, oh no, how can you have a pastor that's not married? Because of situations like that.
Yeah.
Where they know it's like, look, you're gonna be in a in a situation like this.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, the Bible says that, you know, a man cannot keep coals in his bosom. Yeah, it's like, yo, you can't just keep the coals in your bosom, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay, so what else happened this week, man?
I mean, we were talking about power,
Yeah.
position, leadership, and women throwing themselves at a dude.
Yeah.
R. Kelly.
Wow.
You have to get into that dude.
Wow. He fits that description
Perfectly.
Wow, man. Okay, so Surviving R. Kelly, the docu-series came out on LifeTime.
Yeah.
And it's basically got like a bunch of people that accuse him of sexually harassing them or assaulting them, being just abusive. Yeah. He kidnapped.
Borderline sex slaves.
Basically. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Basically. And you've seen this. I haven't watched it yet.
I mean, I've seen bits and pieces of it. You know what I mean? Some of the accounts from some of the women, you know what I mean? His ex-wife also popped up. Sometimes I feel like, yeah, are you really a credible source if you're an ex-wife?
Why is that questionable for you?
Because you had 3 kids with him. Because you didn't say anything this whole time, and then now you're gonna say something. You know,
what if she was afraid? Like,
afraid of what?
R. Kelly.
She divorced him. She could have said something after the divorce.
You're right, but it's like, you know, R.
I
Kelly,
don't. Okay, look, it's just like,
it took this documentary, to get people to be like, you know, fuck R. Kelly, because there was a conversation about him back in the day. About, but then because black people give a pass to whoever they like, I feel like, when black people like someone a lot, they'll make excuses for him, and I feel like that's what's been happening with R. Kelly.
I mean, same shit with OJ.
Yeah,
same thing with OJ.
we know he killed. Come on.
If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Legend.
Oh gosh. So what's your impression of it? I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing. I think I watched like 1 minute of it because you sent me a link to see it.
I mean, look, for me, I would never excuse anybody who would do things like that, ever. You know, it took us a long time to get here, but we have. And the law says guilty until proven innocent until proven guilty.
No, that's in Zambia.
So my bad. I was quoting the Zambian law.
That's what we do
guilty until proven innocent. Because soon as the popo gets you, they start smacking the shit out of you.
It's like, oh, how could you do that?
How could you do that?
I'm not even sure I did this shit.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So innocent until proven guilty. But with the evidence that's out right now, I mean, there's already law enforcement agents that have started investigations into some of the charges and whatever. So we'll see where that goes. Okay. Keep in mind he was acquitted back in the day.
Yeah.
And he was accused of making a sex tape with an underage girl.
Yeah.
But he was acquitted of that. So I think for a long time we just thought, I just thought that people are out to get R. Kelly. You know what I mean? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, we heard the Aaliyah rumors.
Yeah.
That he got married to Aaliyah when she was 15.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things in the docu-series that actually says there was a point when somebody was, was there when he was having sex with Aaliyah when she was 15 years old.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
It's
what
like
were they doing?
They
in
were
the
on
room?
the tour bus when that was happening. And I'm sitting there thinking, wow, that's crazy. But again, Aaliyah's parents say that never happened. Every time R. Kelly was out on tour with Aaliyah, they were always there.
Wow.
And nothing like that ever happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And then there was those reports that came out that he had a threesome with Aaliyah and her mom.
Oh, there you go.
I was like, what? Yo, like, what kind of crazy situation
Necessitates that.
Yeah, like for me, that just sounds like the mom. If this was true, that sounds like the mom was like a groupie or some shit.
Could be. I mean, he was R. Kelly. Let's not forget that.
Yeah,
He is R. Kelly still. He's still the,
y'all let him get away with calling himself the Pied Piper.
Yeah.
That was a red flag right there.
What you mean that was a red flag? How is it a red flag? Everybody had an AKA or some shit
But
back in the day.
Pied Piper, you know the story about the Pied Piper?
Yeah, but like, I equate that to his music. Like y'all, when you hear R. Kelly music,
it gets the young kids away
not
from
the
their
young
parents.
kids, just everybody.
Nah, it was him. I feel like it was him referring to, yo, I get the kids.
It wasn't that.
I get them away from their
Because the Pied
parents.
Piper was just not about the kids. The Pied Piper's real story was
Get the rats
get
away.
the rats out. And then when they didn't want to pay the Pied Piper, he gets the kids. All right? So
you don't see anything that's
nah,
going on here.
my nigga. Don't try and make the Pied Piper look like a freaking molester, bruv.
What you think he was gonna do with those kids in the woods? Well, he made them drown or some shit, right? Did he? Or he just took them away and they never came back?
Drown.
And then the kids never came back. They disappeared forever. And that's what he did, right? He took kids away from their parents and turned them into sex slaves.
And made them disappear forever. No.
Well, some of those family members haven't.
Don't try and marry the Pied Piper because you're just messing up some 5-year-old story right now.
No.
Bullshit. Don't do that. All right? Do not make the Pied
truth.
Piper
It's the truth.
look like a molester.
I think that nigga was doing
Nah,
shit with them kids,
he wasn't doing shit to the kids, bro.
So he just took the kids away just to take care of the kids.
No,
Was he?
he was mad because they didn't give him his dough.
Oh, so he didn't get the money.
Yeah.
So that meant he didn't. He was a broke ass nigga.
Yeah.
So what was he doing with the kids in the woods?
I don't know, man. It's kind of like
He went to take care of the
what that
kids?
story says is like, look, when you don't get paid, find some other shit that you can steal. That'll make those niggas mad as hell.
Oh gosh.
That's the story.
Yeah, well, I think it just makes perfect sense
Doesn't
to me
make perfect
that he was
sense.
taking kids.
He could have
away
gotten
from
the
their
kids
parents.
and just, go start your own families or somewhere else. I don't know. Take them to an orphanage.
Oh, really? The Pied Piper took the kids and took them to an
Orphanage or something like that. It's like, yo, the niggas never paid me. So yeah,
The Pied Piper.
don't try and make the Pied Piper dirty, bro. Like, don't do that.
Piper. Gosh.
Anyway.
This is a nasty ass motherfucker. And the fact that he got away with the sex tape and to begin with is just crazy to me.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like, we see these reports, and what I've been seeing on social media is a lot of people like to expose just how stupid they are. It's like, oh, he's a legend. I'm going to still listen to his music or whatever. It's like, look, I feel like in certain situations, because, look, you could take R. Kelly away from this situation and just let's deal with society. There's a lot of shit like this that's going on.
Yeah.
And these type of stories, I've met so many women who've gone through some shit like this.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot of this shit going on. So when you go online and basically, in a way, back a molester, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
I feel like, look, if that's how you feel, I don't think certain things just shouldn't be said.
Yeah.
Go ahead, listen to your fucking R. Kelly music.
Yeah.
But don't put it out there.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, some people feel real deep about this because they probably went through a similar situation. And then when you put that shit out there, that just, you know, it somehow makes certain people, I mean, people that went through that feel small, I feel like. And I feel like probably that's what these women were going through. It's like, some of them were like, oh, I was scared to come out because this is R. Kelly. Who's going to listen to me? I'm like, you know, I feel like he managed to get them to a point where they just felt like, yo, I can't, who am I going to talk to? Who's going to listen to me?
Yeah.
Probably gave them examples. Hey, look, back in the day, this shit happened. It was on video, but I'm still walking.
Yeah.
The Aaliyah situation was supposed to be the red flag to get that nigga the fuck out of here. Because she was 15. And there's reports that he was hooking up with her way before that.
Yeah.
They had this marriage certificate that they put together that was alleging that she was 18 when she was actually 15. All this bullshit. And still,
for me,
he's on the cover of Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. You can see the motherfucker in the background.
Yeah. And
so and he wrote that song.
He wrote that song. Keep in mind, he was writing for Aaliyah.
Yeah.
You know, so he says age ain't nothing but a number. He was 25 at that particular time. And then she was, I think, 14. You know. So you write music like that. And it's like, what do you mean, Aaliyah? Age ain't nothing but a number. Gosh. You know, some of the little skits in the album, because I listened to that album like crazy. You know what I mean? Actually, you know, you can hear Aaliyah talking to a friend and whatever, and she's like, oh, yo, your man is calling, you know what I mean? And then she picks up, and it's R. Kelly on the other line.
Wow.
You know, those are little skits that skits were real big in music back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, 80s, 90s, you know, music was real big with skits and interludes and all of that shit.
Yeah.
You know, so you can clearly tell it's like, oh, this is R. Kelly on the line. You know? And I don't know why. You know, but probably is. For me, that's what I'm saying. So it's like her mother, even to this day, was saying it's like there was nothing sinister happening with R. Kelly. You see what I'm saying? What's his name? Kevin Spacey. Right? Also has got allegations of him, you know, groping some young kid, 19-year-old kid and whatever.
Yeah.
And then after that story comes out, he's like, oh, actually, I'm gay. Immediately when that happened, it's like, oh, actually, I'm gay.
Yeah. He thought that would make shit better for
him. And then what happened? After that, the mother had a press conference. It's like, yo, he did this to my son, and I am upset about it. And she was upset because she was on the borderline of tears. That's what you're supposed to do. But like, you can't be running around here saying nothing happened.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. When there's all of this evidence all around, all of these people popping up and saying this is what was going on with me and R. Kelly, and then you're saying nothing happened, then if people are going to believe anybody, they're going to believe it's like, yo, this is a mother.
Yeah.
She would never let anything like this happen.
Yeah.
So maybe it's true. Maybe these accusers are not genuine. You know what I mean? Because if you're going to believe somebody, it's like if you're going to do some crazy shit to my daughter,
yeah,
I'm getting you the fuck out of here. Literally. you know what I mean? Like,
you're going to do what your uncle did.
Yeah. I'm going to clear your ass. You be out of here. Bruv. I'll be out on the Catholic Church. I'm not even Catholic. Be on some, forgive me, Father, I sinned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know how you can protect somebody who did things like that to your daughter.
Yeah.
Knowing full well that she was underage. Unless you were acting together.
Yeah.
And you need to be mentioned as a co-conspirator in this particular situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only thing. You can't protect somebody who did something bad to your kid.
Or anyone else.
Or anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we should be able to protect each other.
Yeah.
Should not only be about, you know, your blood. But yeah, absolutely. Like, I guess, you know, when you're related to somebody, you expect it to, you know, be a certain way when you hear something like that.
It's
happens.
crazy, man. So this whole shit, I mean, I've also had a couple of people say it's like, yo, I can't stop listening to his music and whatever. And I get where they're coming from, and then, you know, I get some of these people are probably like 2 or 3 years older than me and whatever, and I get what R. Kelly means to you musically, you know.
Yeah.
But like, let's be objective about some of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, let's not just be, it's like, yo, the music. Yeah, the music was lovely, you know. But the thing is, it's like, yo.
I don't know if you would just want to put out that kind of like your opinion. I feel like not. That's the problem with social media. People feel like everything that comes to their mind should be shared with the rest of the world,
and it shouldn't be that case. I mean, I've had a lot of shit on my mind that if I would have said, I don't know, I would, you know, you know. But I don't deliberately don't say it. If I have nothing to tweet, I do not tweet it.
Yeah,
you know. That's why my Twitter sometimes will be crazy quiet. I don't remember sometimes the last time I was on Facebook, but like people say so much ridiculous shit. They feel like, oh, just because it's my account, it's my Twitter, I can say whatever.
Yeah.
And nah, what you say has got a bearing on someone.
And that's the thing. If like, I hate to be that guy, but I will be. If R. Kelly did this shit to your sister, you're still gonna listen to his music.
Your kid. Your child.
Yeah, are you still gonna listen to his music?
It's like if your child was out at 16 at his house and you wanted to see your kid and she couldn't leave the house because that nigga says she is not allowed to.
Damn. I remember
has her kissing on some other girl, performing oral sex on another girl, and he's watching that shit.
Twisted ass motherfucker. Like there was one of the victims, the alleged victims, was on the Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett. And she was like, I started seeing this nigga, and then he told me he had never had a threesome before.
Okay.
So I felt I wanted to do it for him. Yeah. So there was one threesome that went down, and then he wanted another one. So we did another one. And then we did another one, and then another one, and then another one.
There you go.
So basically. But then, you know, if we flip the coin, how much blame? We're just having a free-flowing conversation because that's the purpose of a podcast. We want to dissect everything. How much of the blame goes to the women? Do you feel?
There should be an element of that. Look, at a certain age, you know, maybe we're raising our kids differently now. You know, I'm definitely raising my kid to be aware of some of the crazy shit that's out there.
Yeah.
Because there will come a point where she can leave the house and I can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't control her decisions. What I have to do is instill some shit in her now and keep my fingers crossed that she does the right shit.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to do.
Yeah. At a certain
you know
point,
what I mean?
Like, yeah.
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 So for me, it's like, number one, I mean, there's blame on the girl, but like, how old was the girl? You know, for me, when you start getting to ages, like when you get to the point of, you know, our friends, you know, in Zambia, you can vote when you're how old?
18?
18?
Yeah.
18, right?
Yeah.
It's like, so it's like, look, you have the mind at this point, at this age, for you to decide who you want to lead this country and take it forward.
Yeah.
That's a big decision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
like, look, if you were the only person in Zambia and then 4 candidates were standing up there, all right? Hypothetically, HH, Edgar Lungu, Nervous Mumba, and so, right? And you were the only person, and then you could pick who's going to take this country forward.
Yeah.
Think about how big that decision is. That's what voting is. So if you're given that power to do that, bro, like to make a decision like that, that's crazy. That's why our friends at 18, get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah.
Or start paying rent.
Are you going to do that with your kid?
Yeah.
That's not the Zambian way.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. I'm not trying to raise a Zambian. I'm not just trying to raise a Zambian citizen. I'm
what
trying
were
to
you
raise,
about to say, nigga? I ain't about to raise no Zambian. What?
Yeah, I'm not just trying to raise a Zambian citizen. I'm trying to raise a citizen who can fit in if she goes to the UK, goes to the United States or whatever, Tokyo, whatever.
Yeah, you cleaned that up nicely.
Yeah,
it just sounded so bad at some point. I was like, this nigga really about to say this shit?
So that's my thinking. So look, when you start,
so some blame should be put on the
blame,
ladies,
especially at a certain age. I mean, 15, 14, obviously, that's all R. Kelly.
Yeah,
You know, for me, that's all R. Kelly. But like certain ages, when you're talking about, you know, it's like you're 18, you're 21, and this nigga had you in his house, it's like, yo, could you not go out and buy groceries? Could you not call anybody? Could you, you know, what couldn't you do? For me, there are certain things that, it's like, if you wanted to, because it's like, we've seen stories of women who are in a position where they're about to get raped or something like that, and they did not want to be in that position, and what they did to get out of that situation. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, we've seen the stories. Like, they'll straight up cut a nigga before they let him defile her. You know what I mean?
I mean, situations are different. But,
yeah, situations are different. But like I'm saying, it's like, look, let's not always play the victim card. It's a big card. It gets us a lot of sympathy and a lot of all of these different things. But I don't think anybody is. I think people are even scared to ask. It's like, okay, but why didn't you leave? You know, are you taking some of the blame?
It's like when a woman is in an abusive relationship and she still keeps going back.
Yeah.
This nigga hits you all the time. Like, what is it that you keep going back for?
Yeah.
You know? Maybe it's the fire penis.
Maybe. I don't get it.
That's usually what it is, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's like, look, this person is abusing you emotionally.
Even physically sometimes.
And physically too.
Yeah.
So it's like, what is it? That's an uncomfortable situation. As humans, we want to get to a better place. Like, that's how we are built. It's like, when you're in a bad place, at least a logical thinking person would want to move from that and get to a different spot. But then again, you know, like, some people will listen to this and say this sounds like victim shaming and shit.
Nah, and it's not. It's not. Look, all I'm saying is, for me, it's a lot of factors that you have to factor in. But there should also be a certain level of, because sometimes when we always want to pamper the victim and say like, oh no, there's no blame for you, I feel like we put other people in the same situation. Where it's like, oh, if you're in a situation like this, there's nothing you can do. It's too bad for you. One day, maybe. You know what I mean? I feel like you need to empower the person going through that, and so that the person can be like, it's like, look, this is some bullshit, and I'm not going to stay in this.
Yeah.
I would not stay in this. Because trust and believe, if you're 21 years old and you ran and you went and found somebody, keep in mind, this is in the United States. Everybody's looking for a big break. Even found somebody at, I don't know, Washington Post, your local newspaper, whatever, and said it's like this, I'm from R. Kelly's house, and this is the shit that happens. Yeah. And I'll give you details and times and dates and all of that, and I want this story to be told.
But then again, you know, it might be a situation of some women wanting, maybe like the pressure from society. You want to have like an emotional, you want to get involved with someone at a certain age or some shit, and then, you know, R. Kelly, here comes R. Kelly. Yeah. That's R. Kelly. Yeah. That's somebody you want to take home to your parents. It's like, oh shit, this is who I'm getting married to, or this is my boyfriend and shit. And then it just turns out to be a bad situation. And I don't know, maybe he locked them up in some place they couldn't leave. I don't know. Yeah. So maybe he used some sort of crazy tactics, get into your head to make you feel like you are
maybe
okay.
Maybe. Situation. Look, I mean, there was a girl that was interviewed not too long ago. It's like her parents were saying, it's like, yo, she's at R. Kelly's house and she's not allowed to leave, whatever. And she was interviewed and she said, no, it's not that I can't leave. It's just that I don't want to or whatever. You know
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So in a situation like that, where people are like, are you okay? You know, do you want to leave? You know, keep in mind, it's R. Kelly. You know, it's not the mafia. You know what I mean? It's not like, yo, he's going to send people to kill you if you leave or if you say something wrong.
What if he threatened that? I feel like he might have did that. He might have told him like, "Hey, nigga, I'm fucking R. Kelly. Could do whatever the fuck I want to do."
Nah, man.
You rat me out, and of course in the hood there's that code. Like in the black community, you can't snitch. You can't go to the cops and shit.
Which is probably one of the dumbest things ever.
It is. So, but then it comes from a concept from back in the day. Police are full of shit and whatever. But I think it's evolved into like a different situation.
It's something else.
So, I guess out of this conversation, there's different factors, and they all are like part of this mess.
Yeah.
You know. So
there's a lot of factors. Yeah.
We could throw the blame at whoever, but it remains true that he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, R. Kelly is a piece of shit.
I don't think when a lot of people come out and they're saying the same thing, like if it was like one or two, it would be like, maybe they paid them to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when it's like the Bill Cosby situation, over 30 people come out, and they say this nigga did this shit back in the day. You know,
it's crazy. I mean, there are obviously, people who try to extort you for money.
Of course,
there'll
always be those.
things.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a girl who was talking about Game, during that shoot when the Game was Looking for Love or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And she was like, "Oh no, this nigga put his hand in my vagina 3 times." Okay. And I'm like, why did you let it get to 2?
Did she explain? Did she say why this nigga?
Nobody asked her that because even the radio presenters she was with were trashing the Game. You know what I mean? They were not being objective. Yeah. Oh, that nigga. I don't know which radio station it was. I just watched the interview, and I'm like, I want $10 million. That's what she said.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
$10 million.
$10 million.
All right.
And the thing is, she didn't complain right there and there. She complained when she got kicked off the show.
Oh, so now it looks like she was just spiteful because she got dropped from the thing. I remember he talked about that. He was like, "No, I never."
Yeah.
I don't like the fake body parts.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
Game, man.
It's crazy.
So yeah, that's that with R. Kelly, man. This is such a heavy topic. Let's see how it goes. I saw reports that he's getting panic attacks because of this whole docu-series shit. I'm like, I hope more shit like that happens to you.
Yeah, it's
probably
crazy,
worse.
It's crazy, bro.
So what else went down?
Some sad news anyway. Mulongoti was evacuated to South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not feeling too good. The crazy thing is, it's like had an outside broadcast, I think 2 weeks ago. I actually saw him where we were at, and he looked good. You know what I mean? He was walking around. I think he was looking to buy some furniture or something.
Has he ever looked like he's just good, bro? For me, he's just always looked like he's sick.
No, he looks tired. He looks slow. He looks chilled out. He looks very relaxed.
He talks,
but like it's kind of like The Godfather. You couldn't say The Godfather looked good. He was just, It was the Don.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He was Don Corleone. So for me, like it's like he had that aura. Even when he spoke, no, that's not what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he wasn't very loud. It wasn't a chimbagambuli about his situation. So yeah,
Chimbagambuli is such a character. When he allegedly fake fainted, that shit cracked me the fuck up. Like he had no business taking off his shirt.
Belly was out.
What the fuck are you doing with your belly out, bro? Cover that shit.
It's like, being mistreated by the government. Exposing my belly.
No, he over dramatized that. Like he needs to. This is why I'm saying, like, a lot of people like need PR. Like, let's make a plan. I can help you, bro. I've been telling these niggas, I got ideas for days for all of y'all. But I think it was a great move for the president to evacuate Mr. Mulongoti.
Yeah. But like also,
that was great.
What does that highlight again?
These niggas are friends?
No.
What does it highlight?
It highlights how trash UTH is.
What is he suffering from? What is wrong with Mr. Mulongoti? Do we have that information?
We don't have that information. We just know that he's been evacuated. He got sick and then he was evacuated. So think about that. Look, Democracy is for the, leadership, for the people, by the people, and all of that bullshit, right?
Only you will think UTH is trash, and that's why they evacuate. Like
Why
that's
not?
that's like your first thought. Like that's crazy.
I mean, bruh, what else? This basically says we can't take care of you in this country. The 10 provinces, all the doctors in this country cannot take care of your condition right now. So we will take you somewhere where it's better.
But you know what? I blame that on brain drain. They call it brain drain.
Brain drain, yeah.
Yeah, because of that perception, a lot of the good doctors don't want to work here. They want to go to other places.
Yeah.
And we've got a whole lot of doctors who are working in the other places and shit.
Yeah.
So,
but like but it's like
we don't have a lot of specialists and shit here.
What do you blame brain drain on?
I guess, other institutions are more reputable. When you work at some big hospital in the US, you will be looked at as, the perception is,
when you work at John Hopkins Hospital.
Yeah, you basically, it's like, oh, this is where all the best doctors in the world go.
Yeah.
But you see, UTH is
trash.
The place where the best doctors in the country go to work.
Oh, really?
And Levi Mwanawasa.
So
that's what it's supposed to be.
The best doctors, that's what it's supposed to be. The best doctors at UGH are not good enough to take care of Mulongoti.
But we don't know what he got. Maybe he got some funny tumor that we can't take out.
That's what we do all the time. Michael Chidufya got sick, South Africa.
Yeah. Mwanawasa.
FTJ got sick. He used to go to Morningside. We even know the hospital. Like, I don't know how many times. Somebody who actually went there when she got sick, a church member of ours, she was saying it's like a hotel.
Oh, really?
It's like a whole freaking tell. It's like you can't even tell you're in a hospital. Doesn't smell like UTH. Because UTH has got a little aura of death. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you coming out here 50-50, my guy. You know what I mean? When you
Maybe UTH is haunted by ghosts. And we just don't know.
The ghosts of laziness and rudeness.
The ghosts of Dr. Monique.
Dude,
if you haven't heard that episode, Fanatik
check it out, man.
had his big toe cut by Dr. Monique. I need to go there and look for her. I just want to see what she looks like.
She's pretty.
Oh, Monique's usually pretty.
Yeah, she was actually very pretty. I thought she was mad because, I don't know, man. She looked at me and was like, yo, you're supposed to be asking for my number or something.
Okay, for that.
Huh?
All right.
Instead of you have me looking at your big toe. Or maybe she's somebody I knew from the past, and you know how the late bloomers are. You know what I mean? Like, she used to tease her when she was a kid, like she ugly or something like that, and then she grew up and she's pretty and she's a doctor and she's like, oh yeah, for all those things that you did, take this.
So there's people from your past that you basically tyrannized.
Yeah, I teased. I was a kid. You never teased anybody as a kid?
I never teased women.
Oh, you never teased women. Oh, wow.
Girls,
you were so enlightened at such a young age.
Yeah, I was like, we need to respect our women. Yeah. Like, we got to be,
they would tease me. We would tease them. You know what I mean? Shit would happen like that. That's how I grew up. We were not enlightened, man. We were some little scoundrels running around causing havoc and shit.
Gosh.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. For me, it still goes down to, it's a shame. For me, it's a shame. Yeah. It's despicable to have situations like this all the time when our leaders get sick. You know, so then sometimes I think about it. It's like, oh, okay, so that's what I have to do to get evacuated. What about somebody who's sicker than Mulongoti and is my relative? They're sitting there in UTH and we're just basically waiting for them to die.
That's basically what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah. And if there's no sense of urgency, because the thing is, yo, if you get sick, we're going to fly you to SA.
Yeah.
Somebody should come in and say, this is a law where you can't do that. You can't fly out people. Improve the shit that you have.
Damn.
You know, you don't tell your kids to go eat at the neighbors because the neighbors have got sausage. No, you work hard so that you have enough money to buy sausage.
That's so true, though.
That's so true, and that's what it is. It's like we're basically sending our kids to our neighbors' houses to eat.
Yeah, that's like a great example.
Actually.
Yeah. It's like I don't know, like we just never get. Which leader has ever had like that as like a goal? Like, look,
Nobody.
we want to turn UTH into a place where people from outside the country can come here
Exactly.
and get medical treatment. Because they're building like new structures there. We have a cancer clinic and stuff like that. You know,
because they're basically segmenting the hospitals, the different departments. They're not departments; they're becoming hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the maternity ward is not just going to be a maternity ward. It's actually going to be a hospital.
Yeah.
You know, the cancer hospital is going to be there doing its own thing. Like they're segmenting the different parts. So it's like there's like a hospital there, hospital. You know what I mean? Like that. Okay. That's what they're doing. Specializing in all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that turns into, something bigger.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely gonna get bigger. Just bigger trash.
Wow. Now, there was a story that I came across this past week that had me thinking, right? Was it, I think it's like Breeze FM or something. They put up like a post of
Breeze FM from where? From here?
Yeah, I think it's like in the outskirts. I don't think it's in Lusaka. It's definitely not in Lusaka. I think it's like Northwestern or some shit like that. Or it might be Eastern.
Malawi.
Might be Eastern Province.
Sorry, not Malawi. Eastern Province. Eastern Province.
Eastern Province could
thinking
be Malawi.
About Malawi. No, Malawi could be Eastern Province. Should just have a gangster president. Just be like, it's like, you know what? We're gonna take over Malawi.
Yeah, straight.
You know what I mean?
Straight.
Yeah,
that'd be amazing. I think they want it to happen.
They do.
They do.
They want to be Zambians. Malawians want to be Zambians.
So, the way the story was written had me thinking. Right? It was like, DEC has arrested 2 Chinese nationals for cultivating marijuana.
Cannabis.
So, obviously, for me, when I read that, I was like, what the fuck? These Chinese people doing this shit?
Yeah.
And then I thought about it, and I'm like, oh, it's the way that they're wording this. Because it's like they want to highlight the fact that this were Chinese people that were doing this shit.
Yeah.
And then we were having this conversation on the radio with my co-host.
Yeah.
And we're basically like, okay, so if it was a Zambian, like here, would they have said, like, 2 Zambian men of 2 Bemba men were caught doing this shit? Or Lozi men were caught doing this shit?
No, but the Chinese, the foreigners.
No, but then what if the Chinese people were Zambians? What if they've lived here long enough to be Zambians?
How many Chinese people have lived here long enough to be...
Are you telling me that Chinese people just started coming here, bro?
Yeah, they just started coming here.
Fuck out of here. We've had Chinese people here.
The year before last.
You fanatic, we've had Chinese people here.
No.
We don't have Chinese... We've never had Chinese companies here.
No.
You need this... What the fuck is wrong with you, bro?
It's like, bruh.
No.
Fuck out of here.
That's like dangerous reporting. And this is... I'm serious.
Stop.
No, listen.
Stop scaring me with that dangerous reporting shit.
No, it's
These niggas came in not too long ago.
No, we've had Chinese people here, bro. Do you read the census report? Whenever they drop
Why
it?
the fuck am I reading the census report about who's here? This is probably like 3 Chinese people.
That's information you need to know. So, okay. Fanatic doesn't read. Look,
I don't read about Chinese.
What I was saying was, it's like, what if there was Zambian Chinese people? Are you still gonna say Chinese nationals?
I don't think there were though. That's the thing. Why are you?
Wait, this is a hypothetical, and this is to explain my point. It's
okay.
like, why do you feel?
Explain your point first. Then.
Why do you feel the need to highlight where the fuck these people come from?
Because they always do that.
Is it a crime?
With their DEC reports.
Is it a crime
to what?
To cultivate marijuana
In Zambia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it matter who does it?
Yeah, it does.
Why?
Because they're Chinese, they're foreigners.
Okay, so that changes
Look,
everything.
When a Zambian is arrested in China, Zambians know about it or it's reported on.
True.
And it's reported as to why they were arrested.
No, but the point I'm making is, what if these Chinese people have been here long enough to be Zambians? They got NRCs and shit.
They clearly are not.
I don't believe it, man.
Why do you not trust the reporter who gave you that story?
Why do I not trust him?
Yeah.
It's not that I don't trust him. I just find the wording a bit alarming.
Maybe the wording was a bit weird, but
it was bad wording because
look,
it makes you.
He was basically trying to tell you, it's like, look, these foreigners. Maybe that should have been the heading. Foreigners of Chinese nationality caught.
That's still the same thing, though.
Caught
That's still
stinging marijuana.
That's still the same thing. It's like.
Then how do you want him to say it? Do you want him to just say it's like, oh, 2 people were caught?
Yeah, they were caught. It shouldn't be the headline.
But bruh, what I'm saying is, if you've heard what when DEC gives out the reports of people who are caught.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find it unnecessary, but they even give out house numbers.
They shouldn't do that.
They give out house numbers.
That's
Chishamubambe of house number so and so Kawata Estates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you see, what I'm saying is, when it's a Zambian, they never say 2 Zambian nationals or 2 Bemba men or 2 Lusaka individuals. It's just 2 people caught because they were cultivating marijuana.
No, it's not just 2 people caught. It's Chishamubambe of village so and so.
No.
Of whatever house number so and so. They always give the details.
I'm talking about the headline. The intent of the article, to me, sounded like, yo, can you believe these motherfuckers?
Yes, and that was the point. Like, why are we arguing about that? That
the
was
alarming
the whole point.
Shit.
It's not alarming.
Like,
how is it alarming? It's the truth.
The climate right now, we could agree on the fact that a lot of people ain't happy with the Chinese. And like, if you can't contribute to the hate. Because that makes you hate them more. But then again, the point I'm trying to make, are you getting my point?
I'm getting your point. The thing is, your point holds no fucking water.
How?
Yes, it's like you have a problem with it, but like you're not supposed to have a problem with it.
Why?
Why do you have a problem with it? It's alarming.
You don't have a problem with it because you're racist.
I'm not fucking racist.
You said
racist,
Chinese
bro.
calling around that bullshit. So this is like music to your fucking ears.
It's not music.
Basically.
I'm just saying, it's like, look, the audacity of these niggas that they here growing marijuana.
That's the sentiment.
The audacity of these niggas.
That's the sentiment that's very dangerous.
Why,
you don't want that shit to go out there.
Why?
Because people will like eventually act on that. Like we could tell that there's tension in the air, and then when you keep on adding to that, there's gonna be fucking crazy shit out in the streets. Look, let me give you a perfect example of why this is dangerous or why it's a bad form of reporting.
Yeah, it's like there's gonna be xenophobia here or some shit.
It's there
against Chinese nationals.
It's there. It's there. They're not acting on it, but it's there.
We are Africans. Keep in mind, we're Zambians. All right? How many white people are being killed in South Africa because of xenophobia? Mr. Smith from Britain is not doing that. He owns the whole land. All right? You mad because a Randi's, a Zambian dude, has got a contemba in your neighborhood. That's why you're mad. But you're not attacking. We're not going to do that. We're not going to attack any Chinese people.
Maybe because we're scared they know Kung Fu.
Yeah, and they're light-skinned. They've got that skin.
That's horrible. I didn't mean to say that. That's horrible. It's a bit racist. That was I heard that from Fanatik the other day. But look, what I'm trying to say is this, right? Like,
I hear you.
Lukaku said this shit before the World Cup. He wrote a beautiful article, and he was like, "Yo, when I fuck up when I play for my country, it's like, oh, Lukaku, the player of Congolese descent."
Yeah.
Did this shit. So they try to distance themselves away from the negativity.
Same shit
but when
with
he
Ozil.
scores and he does shit, same thing with Ozil.
Yeah.
They want to embrace you when you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But like the minute you do some fucked up shit, it's like, oh, we ain't fucking with these niggas. Basically.
So what are you saying? We should be embracing niggas? Embracing the Chinese?
Yes.
Based
Whose fault is it that they're here?
Whose fault
and taking over shit? Whose fault is that? Is it theirs?
It's the government's fault.
Yeah. So why should you hate on the Chinese?
It's just like we're not. It's like, who do you want to? It's like, look, we already hate the government for the bullshit that they're doing. So it's like, yo, just feel some of the pain that we're feeling. It's like, you're not gonna come to you're not gonna come to my country and grow cannabis. Just like I'm not gonna go to fucking China and grow cannabis in China. Like the audacity. What type of ginormous dragging on the floor balls do I need to have to go to China and grow weed in China, bro?
Yeah, but they don't have any soil there. So where are you going to grow it?
They do have soil there, nigga. They have very beautiful landscapes and shit. You know what I mean?
All they grow is rice. That's it. And those are like the historic plains and shit.
It's like, look, they could grow rice in there and put a weed seed right next to that. Just grow rice and weed. You know what I mean?
Yo, that wouldn't be bad though.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad.
Like, get high while you're having
Look,
rice.
all I'm saying is, it's like, look, the reporters.
The report. Do you agree that the headline is fucked up?
The reporters' point was to make you aware of the fact that you have Chinese people who are not from here growing marijuana in your country.
You don't
and
know
it's
that.
6 kilograms. Weed is a leaf.
No.
Do you know how much weed it has to take for it to be 6 kilograms heavy?
Of course, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of weed.
It's a lot of weed.
Oh, so the quantity matters then as well.
Of course it does.
I think you're just nitpicking.
I'm not nitpicking.
That's what it is. And I guess the ultimate point I was leading to was...
Crow's probably got a stashed his little Chinese girlfriend somewhere.
Probably do.
Probably got some Chinese girlfriend somewhere and he's taking her side. She went and it's like, oh, you let your friend say Chinese cholera. You're not getting some.
Yeah, man. If you noticed, I've been a bit sad lately because
no do for you.
Ching Ching and I haven't been getting too getting along too well.
No do for you.
Oh, not the noodle, Ching Ching. But let's.
You're gonna call me racist.
I want to stick my chopsticks in your sake. So what I was saying is like, look, we are diverting the anger towards people who have nothing, who are just doing what they're supposed to do, which is they're doing it everywhere. In any country where they're getting allowed to do that, they come through, they start shit, and that's that. Obviously, that looks like it's morally it's a bit questionable because that's not your land. You shouldn't be there to take over shit. Mm-hmm. But if the leaders are dumb enough to let you do it, fuck it. Yeah. It's like if your neighbor has a hot wife and he lets you do whatever you want with her.
Yeah.
Be like, but you know.
Yeah.
One day you probably act on that. I'm just saying.
Look,
you know what I mean?
Here's the thing.
Like you let your neighbor come take a shit in your house.
Yeah.
Because you ain't got no water.
For me, look, in essence, I do not have a problem with Chinese.
I think
all right?
you do.
I have a problem with the deal that is being struck with Chinese people. All right? Because, look, China, you cannot ignore China. It's you have the United States, you have China, biggest economies in the world right now.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is, what I say, I've said this before. It's like, look, what's the type of deal you have with China? You can't just be like, oh, give us money, give us money, give us money. Right?
You can't blame the Chinese for that. That's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, you can't just, that's not the relationship you should be having with China right now. It shouldn't be give me money. It should be, it's like, show me how you did it.
Yeah.
How you went from third world country to developed nation.
We've had that conversation before.
Yes, and that's the conversation that we need to be having. Because if you're just getting money, it's like, look, now they have leverage over you. Yeah. There's rumors, it's like, oh, they might take over the airport. They might take over this. They might take over all of this shit. And it's like, look, we can argue about is it true, is it not true, but the thing is already there. The conversation is already there. It's like, look, they're taking over too much shit.
But it's not their fault. That's what I'm saying.
Nobody is saying it's their fault. What I'm saying is, like, look, we need to strike a better deal with China. Point blank,
I think
period.
We're already in, look.
Yeah, but it's not too
We're-
late to change some shit.
No, we were tossing their groceries. We're teabagging them. We've done all the nasty shit. So it's like the virginity has been broken.
Yes,
like,
the
you can't do
virginity
that
has been
shit.
broken, but the secondary virginity.
Now, when you smash
then-
it once, it ain't the same after that.
Yeah, but like, look, all I'm saying
That's
is
horrible.
you can still walk out with your head high. You know what I mean?
With your head high?
You can still walk out. We can still walk out with our head high, knowing full well it's like, look, okay, this shit happened, and maybe I went back for seconds and all of that, you know. But like, this is a bad relationship, and I need to move away from it and redefine this relationship.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
It's different when that relationship, the other person has invested so much, and you're locked. You can't leave. You have to pay back for the shit before you can leave.
Yeah, we can find a way to negotiate that shit.
How? Please tell me how.
I don't know. Look,
They've already negotiated that, and now they're repaying
what I'm saying.
the shit.
What I'm saying is,
That's why we've been hearing stories of assets being given away.
look.
Those are the deals that are
Yes,
allegedly
and-
being
and
struck.
We were having this conversation with a friend of mine, all right? And he was saying, it's like, look, the point when we were even getting the Euro bond, right?
Yeah.
Because that shit needs to be paid back 2022 as well. We need to start paying back at that particular time. It's like, what Michael Sutter did at that particular time, it's like they actually said, it was like, oh, we're going to create a sinking fund where we will be getting some dough and putting dough aside.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is for us to pay back then, and put money aside. So when the time comes to start paying back, we're actually going to have dough to start paying these people back.
Yeah.
But that never happened. So now we're in a world of shit. We're up shit's creek without a paddle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then you have the Chinese as well breathing on your backs.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like, look, if we can't get our money back, what are you giving us?
Breathing on our backs is because we've made so many sexual innuendos about China fucking Zambia. And
Wow.
just,
They are. Who's your daddy?
who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
Chick.
The Chinaman.
I get what you're saying, and it makes sense. But I guess ultimately, China can do whatever the fuck they want to do because we've let them do it,
Yeah.
and that's not their fault.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
But like what? We should just walk around and let the Chinese do whatever the fuck they want?
that's the government's job to make sure that they control the situation.
No, fuck
but
that
they
shit.
can't.
I mean, like, look, it's just like, look, if they're in our country, they're in my country, my country of birth. They're not gonna start walking around and bossing me around. Fuck that shit.
How is a boss? How does a boss get to that place? A person just doesn't show up in your country and boss you around.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, it's like, look, they've strong-armed these niggas in power, but like, they're not gonna do that shit in my day-to-day life. Fuck that.
Yo, Fanatic, what are you gonna do? Please tell me what the fuck you're gonna do.
I'm just saying, it's like
Like,
look,
in what situations are you? Add some context to. I'm not gonna let these Chinese people, boss me around.
all I'm saying is, like, you're making it look like we should just let the Chinese do whatever the fuck they want.
No, I'm not saying that.
That's what you're saying.
No,
it's
I'm
like,
not
oh no,
saying
because
that.
it's like it's the government who let them do this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what should the normal citizen do like me?
Who does the land belong to?
The fucking Zambian. Me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, nigga.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
I can go back
But unfortunately,
to my village
that's not what it is.
I can go back to my village right now and say, it's like, yo, I'm entitled to some land.
Yeah, but if a Chinese man comes through
And buys
speaks to the chief, what are you gonna tell your chief?
Speaks to the chief about what?
If a Chinese man comes over to your village and speaks to the chief, tells him, I'm gonna give you money that you've never seen in your life. Just give me that space there.
I'm gonna tell him, it's like, it's a chief. It's not a politician. Keep that in mind. The chief is not a politician. Chiefs are way more patriotic and less gullible than these niggas who are in power.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I'm telling you that.
Bruh, I don't know what you're talking about. Every man's got a price. And these guys have the money to throw around. We can agree on that.
Yeah.
So the chief will be like, "Oh, don't give me $1 million. I don't need $1 million. I'm good." Or like, not even say 1 million.
The chief
10
is-
million kwacha.
The chief is going to be like, okay, this land is for Zambians. Kaunda fought for independence for Zambians. You see the red in the flag, Mr. Chinaman? That is for the blood that was shed.
That's why so many foreigners have like mines in these chiefdoms and shit, right? Because these are very patriotic chiefs and shit.
Yeah, but like they also went through the government to start that shit.
Yeah, but you have to speak to the chief. The chief holds the power.
Yeah, but then the chief is obviously going to talk to the government, and the government is going to talk to the chief. You know what I mean? It's not like it's just going to be like, okay, yeah, just start the mine there and then give me the money. No.
Yeah, but the motivation is the money that's coming from the China man.
Yeah. But like, again, there's a politician involved.
Yo, Fanatic sometimes just argues for the sake of arguing. You know, get the fuck out of here with that.
Look, I'm
You
just
sound
saying,
like a politician right now.
all I'm saying is don't give this. Look, the government might be slipping, all right? And, you know, they might have some China D in their buttholes.
They do have it, a lot of it.
And I'm saying,
In
it's
their
like,
mouths, too.
look, as the ordinary citizen, don't let these niggas walk around like
Well, don't
it's
make
their house. This is our house.
Yeah, don't let them take a
All
shit
right?
in the road.
Don't let them come and start raiding your fridge. This is your house. All right?
Yeah.
They got access to the servants' quarter in the back. Right now, it's a big, flashy servants' quarter. But the main house is yours.
Yeah.
So those niggas don't have access to the main house, and don't give them that. All right? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Feeling
Okay.
very patriotic today,
Yeah, man. You got your
You know,
dashiki
I got
on
my
and everything.
dashiki on. I got my ja hat and shit, man. Don't, you know?
Jahat. That's what they call them. What the hell those things are called? It's called a jahat? Like a god hat. That's what it's called.
I mean, that's what I call it.
Yeah, you're trash for that. So, power. The energy drink that enhances sexual performance.
Oh, yeah.
Ugandan guy took it, and then he had an erection for 6 hours,
Says he took it, allegedly took it.
allegedly. And then, as a response, our Bureau of Standards has decided that the sale and consumption of this should be stopped until they conduct investigations and shit, which they already did. Because Zabs doesn't just let you sell something without clearing it in your lab, in their labs.
You know what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
Zambia, man.
It's like, do we have all the information with what this Ugandan guy did?
We don't.
And on top of that, I could even go as far as saying it might be a conspiracy. This is conspiracy.
Yeah.
Conspiracy where some guys in Uganda trying to do
Something similar.
And Power is probably the biggest.
Yeah.
It's got the major market share, so to get it the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Have a dude say I had an erection for 6 hours because I took
Yeah.
this Zambian shit.
Yeah.
Take it back. Don't bring it here.
Absolutely.
And then we go as far as banning it here, like banning the sale of it until they want to do a reassessment of the product, which is crazy to me. Like we should be able to stand our ground and say, yo, this shit is fine. Like, come to Zambia, let us examine. You know, like, give us a sample of whatever you had. What did you take it with? What did you eat before? Did they ask these questions? You know?
No, they didn't.
They just decided to ban it because it was just something that happened outside the country. That's crazy to me.
It's dumb. Don't call it crazy. It's dumb.
Wow.
Zabs made a dumb decision. Look,
No one's ever complained about that here.
nobody.
No
All right?
one.
Zimbabwe cleared it
Yeah.
last year. They cleared it.
Yeah.
It's being sold there. Malawi cleared it.
Yeah. It's a good product.
It's a good product. This is information that Zabs has, bruh.
Yeah.
They have this information. So how you gonna take one story from one nigga in one country,
In Kampala or some shit.
We don't even give a shit about Uganda. We don't even, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
What the hell does Uganda have? I don't give a damn about Uganda. And some random nigga probably popped a couple of Viagras.
Probably.
And then he was like, yo, my dick not going up. Shit, what am I do? Take some power. And then he probably had like 3 bottles and shit.
Probably.
And then,
you know, he was wanting it to happen real quick or some shit, you know? And then you see when it's like when the source says they might, because when you ban it, you're saying they might be a problem with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the people that you're exporting it to would be like, wait a minute, you're like stopping the sale of this shit, so we're probably not going to buy this shit from you anymore. So now you affect somebody's business. And I didn't even know that this product was as big as it is. Like it's impacting markets like outside Zambia. I just thought it was just here. So,
bruh, it's in ShopRite.
It's in ShopRite.
It's in ShopRite.
I've never seen it in ShopRite.
So you telling me
which aisle is that? Where do they
you
keep
telling
power?
me that ShopRite Checkers, that probably one of the biggest supermarkets in Africa.
Do they still call it Checkers?
ShopRite.
No, that's some old school shit. Checkers? Nobody calls it that anymore.
Okay, they're part of the Checkers thingy, isn't it?
I don't know, bro. Whatever.
Yeah, because there's Checkers supermarkets in SA and whatever. So the thing is, Zed, you think that these guys, right? I think there's obviously a process, right?
Yeah.
For you to have your product sold in a supermarket like that.
Yeah.
All right. It's like my associate pastor at church was telling me about how, because
your associate pastor be going hard, man.
He sells beans and popcorn, right? And he was like, yo, I actually wanted because he's farming now, seriously. It's like, I want to get my beans and my popcorn in Pick and Pay. Yeah. And he was saying, it's like the list of the things that I had to do and the documents that I had to submit just to get approval from these guys, because it's like these guys are white, you know what I mean? They had the ones who had to approve this shit, and they are detailed about their shit. So I would think it's the same thing, especially for something that says it enhances your sexuality for something that's in ShopRite. Yeah. And I don't think it's some random manager who says it's like, okay, no, just put it in here, put it in the fridge.
Yeah. Of course not.
You know what I mean?
It has to be
There's a process.
vetted and stuff.
It has to be vetted. Probably through documents that you had with Zabs and all of those different things. I'm sure you submitted that and it was given approval to go in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like, so you are letting this product be sold. You as Zabs are letting this product be sold on the Zambian market. Right? And then when one guy cries wolf in Uganda, you say, okay, no, stop selling it. So that means you didn't test it. Yeah. That's what it says.
Basically. That's what it is. But we know they did. You know what I mean? And it just, like I said, doesn't show confidence in our stuff. It makes it look like, oh, like we're not sure.
Yeah.
We checked it, but maybe there's something wrong with it. Like, come on, man.
You could even have said, we're conducting an investigation. Yeah. Done your investigation and come back and said, it's like, nah, it's fine. Yeah. Why did you have to say stop selling it? Yeah. And then when you stop selling it, who suffers? Uganda?
I know, right?
So that means there's a guy who loads and offloads who's not working.
Yeah, true.
Who's not paying his bills. It's freaking January. He's not paying his school fees.
True.
You know? Takudis. It's like, what's the owner of the beverage company supposed to do? It's like I'm not selling. How am I supposed to pay you? I'm not selling. So everything is on hold.
That's bad for business.
That's bad for business.
Yeah. When stuff is not moving, you have all this product. You can't move it. It's just
and then
there.
again, you also have that little dent on your name. It's like, look, they stopped selling it because it was said that this. Yeah. You know?
And
you don't want that.
And something like this, I feel like the best way to deal with it is let's talk about it. Let's not put out all this shit out there. Yeah. Let's sit down and have a conversation, you know. Because it's like Coca-Cola. They get complaints all the time. Yeah. But you never hear it go out on like major platforms and shit. Because they sit down with the individual and say, oh, let's see what the problem is. Yeah. And here's a little money. Yeah. That's that. You hush it because you don't want to put a chink in the armor of this company that's selling this. So that's crazy.
I don't get it.
And one of our friends, I remember one time, we're out drinking. He's super crazy. Okay. You know him, of course.
All right.
Our guy, Mercedes guy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but one time we were chilling,
I do.
and this nigga is with a girl who he was trying to get it on with later on. They have their own agreement,
Yeah.
And then he's pouring that power shit into his drink.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
right in front of the girl.
Right in front of the girl. I'm like,
yeah,
my nigga, like, so.
You could do that like on the side, you know what I mean?
I'm like, oh shit. So you're just about your business. Like she just knows that this shit is about to go down.
She's about to get it. She's about to get it.
That's some crazy shit.
Yeah, that was wild. I mean, I saw that. I was like, okay. And she's okay with all of this?
And she's cool. And she just smiled and, just kept it moving. I'm like, wow.
That's crazy. For me, that was so, and
some other level of confidence, man.
And God, the thing is, I mean, I listened to I was listening to radio, listening to our radio station, the radio station I work for, rather. I think just after the news broke and whatever, and people were asked to call in. So it's like, call in if you've ever taken power and had a problem like this, And the majority of people who called in, everybody actually who called in said, I've never had a problem with it. It's actually great for me. I actually like it. I use it, and I have no problem with it. You know what I mean?
Niggas
and I think those are the type of things that you need to hear.
Yeah.
It's like, if you use it, let us know. Hit us up on our Facebook page. Do this and that. Give us your testimonial about how you used it. Have you ever had any problems? Heart palpitations? Whatever it is.
Look, it's like you're not gonna stop selling condoms because one of them burst.
Bro, yeah. So
and now his girl was pregnant. So let's halt
the
production because this shit happened. Like, nah, maybe he didn't wear it properly.
Yeah.
He didn't pop the bubble out and shit. You know what I mean?
Squeeze the bubble.
He didn't squeeze the bubble. You gotta squeeze the bubble.
You gotta squeeze the bubble. You know what I mean? Otherwise, 9 months later, somebody's gonna be squeezing out something.
And on that note, we're done.
We're done.
Anything else before we go?
Nah, bro.
Think we're good?
We're good.
All right. Thanks a lot for listening. This is episode 18.
Episode 18, man.
Yeah.
And speaking of the 18th, man, it's the 18th. 18th is my birthday.
18th is your birthday.
Yeah, Friday, man. So.
All right. So we'll be recording the podcast the day after your birthday.
Imagine. And then the drinks should happen on the birthday.
Oh, so you don't want
the day after just after we record the podcast, then.
You go out for drinks?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Alcohol.
Actually, it should be Friday and Saturday, nigga.
Yeah, man. But,
yeah.
I do breakfast on Saturday.
Ugh, gosh.
Yeah, man.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It just fucks up everything, man.
Yeah, man. Just like your show.
My show don't do shit.
He does shit.
You're having a drink right now. What you talking about?
Yeah, but, it is what it is.
I remember subscribe to the podcast, YouTube, Castbox, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, any other places like Stitcher, all these places that you can find wherever you get your podcast from. Make sure that you subscribe and recommend it to a friend. I was really happy to see, like somebody had asked like, oh, what podcast are you listening to? And we had like a few people be like, oh yeah, like, Rock Conversations and shit. So that's pretty dope.
Pretty.
Yeah. Keep on spreading the word out there.
Please do.